So every table argument about alignment ends the same way. Somebody says, well, my character wouldn't do that. And the DM either caves in or picks a fight that nobody's going to win. Well, this was solved in 1979 in the Dungeon Master Guide on page 22. So let's stop guessing about what alignment means and start reading what's in the DMG. All right, you guys, well, welcome back to the DM and Friends. I am DM Angelo, and this month, every Monday, I'm doing a whole arc on alignment. And later on in the video, I'll tell you guys what I'm going to be doing every video. But this is video 0, and here we go. If you played any D&D in the last 15 years, you probably learned alignment as a personality label, right? So you pick a box, role play that box, and nobody, policies the box, right? So that's not what Gary built, and that's a deviation from what's in the DMG. So, because in the actual Dungeon Master Guide, I held this up a second ago, alignment isn't a costume. It's a cosmic force. It's load bearing. And once you see it the way that Gary Gygax framed it, you can't unsee it. So let's talk about what Gary actually wrote. So I want everybody to turn to page 22 in your Dungeon Master Guide under, yes, I'm going to fold it, under alignment right here. Okay, so Dungeon Master Guide, page 22. It says alignment describes the broad ethos of thinking, reasoning creatures, those unintelligent sorts being placed within the natural area because they are totally uncaring. The overall behavior of the character or creature, right, is delineated by alignment. In the case of player characters, behavior determines actual alignment. That's page 22 of the Dungeon Master Guide. So, behavior determines actual alignment. Not the box that you checked on the character sheet, not the label that you picked at level 1, what you actually do session after session. Alignment isn't what you declare. Alignment is what you prove, okay? Think about that, DMs and players. So let's talk about law and chaos. The first axis of alignment. Gary breaks alignment into 2 divisions, right? He breaks it first into law and chaos. Now, on page 22 again, under the law and chaos section up here, I have it highlighted. He says that law generally supports the group as more important than the individual, while chaos promotes the individual over the group. Pretty simple, right? Well, that's it. That's what the difference between law and chaos is. And that's the whole axis. Not lawful equals good guy in rules, and chaotic equals guy who flips tables. It's group versus individual. Boom. Easy peasy, right? That's the actual mechanic underneath the word. Okay, let's talk about the second axis, right? And the second one is good and evil. So same page, literally right below that. He writes, basically stated, the tenets of good are human rights, or in the case of AD&D, creature rights. Each creature is entitled to life, relative freedom, and the prospect of happiness. Cruelty and suffering are undesirable. Evil, on the other hand, does not concern itself with rights or happiness. Purpose is the determinant. Purpose is the determinant, right? So not cruelty for its own sake, not mustache twirling, and evil in Gary's system is anyone who will not, or who will do whatever it takes to get what they want. Full stop. Okay, that's much scarier. Much more usable definition than the evil guy who laughs a lot, right? So let's talk about the cosmic frame. Why two, lawful good kingdoms can go to war. He states that in this column right here, column 1 of page 22. There's a section right here, and I want to read that to you guys. So, and this line kind of changes how you run your whole world, right? And still page 22. He says, two nations, for example, with rulers of lawful good alignment, can be at war. Bands of orcs can hate each other, right? But the former would possibly cease their war to oppose a massive invasion of orcs and unite, right? Just as the latter would make common cause against the lawful good men. Thus, alignment describes the worldview of creatures and helps to define what their actions, reactions, and purposes will be. Alignment was never about which side is the good guy in a fight. It's about how creatures organize and what they will set aside their differences for. Two lawful good kings can absolutely go to war over a border dispute, right? That's not a bug in the system. I mean, that's real world, right? That's reality. And that's Gary Gygax telling you directly that alignment describes a worldview, not a team jersey. So this is going to be an awesome series, So here's what this means for you at your table, starting tonight when you play your game. Alignment is not a personality quiz, right? Alignment is not a leash. A constraint. And alignment is absolutely not an excuse for players to do whatever they want and shrug, right? It's a cosmic force. It's a worldview. And it's proven by behavior, not declared on a character sheet. That's Gary's definition. Page 22. Like, it's all right there, guys. And word for word, it's not a homebrew. It's not a house rule. It's actually in the book. It's in AD&D Raw. So let's talk about the whole setup for this arc, because alignment is a great topic, and I think there's a lot of pieces that we should talk about. This is video 0. Of five for all this month, right? So over next month, every Monday, we're going to go deeper, right? This was just the tip of the iceberg, right? So how alignment actually functions as a mechanic at your table, including what Gary says you, the DM, are required to enforce. I'm going to talk about all 9 alignments, straight from the player's handbook, because there's a lot of good beef in there besides in the DMG. And these are in Gary's words, and obviously the rest that edited and kind of added their 2 cents. How alignment is, and I want to also talk about how alignment runs your monster, can run your entire monster manual, not just your party. And what actually happens mechanically when your character breaks alignment. You'll be surprised, and it's not a warning either. It is it's not a talking to. It's a real painful consequence, and Gary wrote it every single step of the way. So we're going to talk about all this stuff. So, all right, you guys. Well, thank you for watching. And if your table's been arguing about alignment for years, which I know mine has. I don't know what any groups that don't argue about alignment. If that happens at your table, you're not wrong to argue. You've just been arguing from not from the right page yet. So now you have page 22. It's right there, clear as day. So you guys drop a comment. What's the alignment that's argument that's never actually been settled at the table? I want to see it. And I want to hear it from you. I want you to put it in the comments, and we may cover it later in the arc. So you guys, I am DM Angelo. Keep gaming. Take care of each other. And remember, lawful good is the best alignment. All right, bye-bye.